Good evening. As principal of Laker High School, it is my honor to welcome you all to the commencement exercises of the Laker High School class of 2022. I am proud to stand before you as we formally recognize the accomplishments of this fine group of graduating seniors. Before we begin, I would like to take this time to thank all those who were involved in the preparation for this special event. The ladies in the office, Nicole Lavasser, Jennifer Veers, and Lisa Beachy, have done a tremendous job organizing all the senior activities. Tina Sears has done an outstanding job as senior class advisor. Shane Yoder and the media class have done a nice job with documenting the whole year. Our tech department of David Seagroves and Tico Tep Sorrentone, led by Scott McClovic, are doing a great job of streaming this event. Sam Richardson and our entire custodial department has done a fine job in setting up for today. And last, but certainly not least, a huge shout of thanks to our teachers. They have accepted the challenge and seen this class through incredible challenges to get to this point today. To all who have helped make today a great day to be a Laker, thank you. Today is a special day, and on this momentous occasion, it is a time to look back on the special memories leading up to this point, and a time to look forward to all the promises of the future. Seniors, you have a solid foundation built on the knowledge and skills you have learned here at Lakers. Because of that foundation, you have a future that is wide open with possibilities. Those opportunities are possible because of the freedoms afforded us in this country. Our freedom was bought and paid for by those who fought and died for its defense. It has been said that there is no greater love than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. This is especially important to remember as we consider the upcoming Memorial Holiday weekend. Because, after all, we are the land of the free because of the brave. And so at this time, I would like all our current service members and veterans to please stand to be recognized. Thank you. It is to all of you that we owe this debt of gratitude. Seniors, this freedom allows you the choice to be whatever you want to be. The choices you have made up to this point have brought you here today. I am proud of the success of this class, as evidenced by the large number of honor cords and medallions on display. Clearly, you have the knowledge and determination to be successful in life. Your future is wide open and bright with possibility. The choice of who you become is up to you. Please allow me to be the first to wish you well. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce the Student Council President, Maya Veers. Maya has served as Student Council President and has done an admirable job. She led the planning of 2 pep rallies and organized 2 blood drives, which were very successful. She has shown great leadership in a challenging year. She is the daughter of Michael and Jennifer Veers of Caseville. Maya Veers.
It is my pleasure to welcome Laker faculty, parents, friends, and family to the graduation of the class of 2022. As I stand here in front of you, all I could not be more proud to represent such an incredible class. Among us today, we have future members of the U.S. military and Marines, biochemists, artists, future educators, and so much more. Before I begin my goodbyes, I would like to take this time to thank my family for forever being my biggest supporters. Without them, I would be nowhere near the person I am today. I love you, and I will forever be continually grateful for each one of you. It's hard for me to believe that I'm standing here today and speaking at graduation, and as it has been a dream of mine since elementary school, and I would like to thank every single one of you for making my position as student body president possible. Granted, of course, that at the time when I was younger, this aspiration stemmed from wanting to be more like Gabriella from High School Musical, but that's beside the point. She had a whirlwind romance, could sing and dance, and made being smart look cool. So naturally, I assumed that this is what my high school experience would look like. However, I do think that this brings up a good point. High school is definitely not like the movies. Now, I know this sounds entirely negative, yet I have 3 lessons that I've learned to support this fact. The first being is that you're not going to sing and dance up and down the hallways every day. While I do realize that this was unrealistic in the first place, it also coincides with the fact that high school, just like any other part of life, was not easy. There are many amazing, fun, and impactful experiences to be had, but almost all of them require effort. Just because something doesn't come naturally at first does not mean it isn't worth trying for. In 6th grade, I was convinced I was going to be a sprinter. However, to put it plainly, I was not as fast as I thought I was. Many attempts at doing so. Being told by Mr. Manchester, who was the track coach at the time, that I would be running the 2-mile sounded like the end of the world. However, it led me to, when I signed up, I had the impression that I would not be running more than 2 laps, let alone 8. But flash forward, and I would eventually lead me to join the cross-country team, find teammates that I loved, and a hobby I really enjoy. Secondly, you're not going to be happier if you're wearing a cheerleader uniform. As a girl in our class, you would be lying if you denied not wearing a tie Nike headband and a slick-back ponytail during our middle school years. This was something I vividly remember wanting so badly to wear. Yet, like many things that were popular, this trend came and went. The only thing left behind were the many really cute photos you can imagine that hairstyle provided me with. Although fashion trends are a small example, this principle of never ceasing change is applicable to almost everywhere. Whether it's the opinions of others, what's cool, or what's considered acceptable, it will never remain the same. Despite what movie cliches portray, just because you look and try to talk like everyone else doesn't mean you're going to be happy. There's a line between respecting others and disrespecting yourself. So wear that shirt that everyone finds ugly or laugh at something only you find funny. The only person you're disappointing when you don't do these things is yourself. And in case no one has ever told you, you're enough just as you are. Lastly, class, these are not the best years of our life. I say this with a smile because I know we've had many fond memories throughout our time here at Lakers. I can't go without mentioning all of us nearly freezing to death canoeing at Leelanau Camp while it's 40 degrees outside, or yelling so loud we lost our voices at a football game while being blinded by a thick cloud of white baby powder. Although these stories make up memories to be cherished, they do not continue to define all you will do next. Too often, people believe that the labels placed on them by others hold them back from becoming someone new. You have the rest of your life in front of you to live and grow. So while this time is something to be treasured, the best times of your life are still in front of you and waiting to be found. In the wise words of television icon and lyrical extraordinaire, Hannah Montana, yesterday's gone, you gotta keep moving on. Thank you and goodbye.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Etzel, and I'm so happy to have this gym filled tonight. Everyone joining in the celebration of our 2022 graduates. Each year I get the privilege of coming up on stage and introducing our top students, those being the valedictorian and salutatorian of that year's class. Typically, before I bring them up, I will share some type of story or tale, ranging from things from my childhood, thinking it's going to make some profound impact, which, yeah, it doesn't. Sometimes little stories with a theme behind them, like Donkey in a Well or the Starfish story, Mrs. Dube's favorite. And honestly, sometimes I'm just throwing out some useless information and tidbits, like dental floss or sunscreen or lawn darts. I'm just hoping for a cheap laugh from somebody's grandmother. So we're not going after cheap laughs this year. I'm not going to do that. Do you know why? Socrates. Remember Socrates, right? The famous Greek philosopher. Lived a long time ago. So Socrates was this incredibly intelligent man. He would travel all over the place and give long, drawn-out speeches. Socrates didn't believe in short, long speeches. Ultimately, do you know what happened to Socrates? His own friends killed him. I'm not Socrates, and I'm not going to have that same fate. So we're going to go right to our salutatorian. And that honor this year goes to Savannah Schultz. Savannah is the daughter of Tracy and John Johnson and Sean Schultz. She has been involved in FFA, National Honor Society, the Rotary Interaction Club, College Direct Dual Enrollment Program, and Student Council. She has served as the Class Council Vice President from 8th to 11th grade, and this year she served as the Executive Council Vice President. Savannah was also named as a member of the Huron Daily Tribune Top 50 Academic Team, in which she placed 4th in the county. She was honored this year as a member of the Greater Thumb All-Conference First Team and also recognized as an All-Conference Scholar Athlete all 4 years of high school. She was involved in varsity basketball her sophomore and junior years, as well as varsity soccer all 4 years. 3 of those seasons, she scored over 75 goals. Savannah will be attending Saginaw Valley State University in the fall to pursue a Bachelor of Science in Nursing to one day become a nurse practitioner. Please welcome Savannah to the podium.
You know, I've never understood why they always say to imagine the audience in their underwear, because it never made me less nervous, just a little more uncomfortable. So instead, I'm just going to ask everyone plug their ears and close their eyes for the duration of my speech so that I can get through without my face turning red. Grandma, there should be a button on the back of your hearing aid, so that'll probably do it. I'm only joking, of course, or at least that's what I'm supposed to say. For my classmates who just want to graduate and get this over with, I'll try to make this short, sweet, and to the point. Good afternoon, and welcome again to the school's administration, parents, my fellow classmates, and guests. I would just like to take a moment to congratulate the graduating class of 2022 on their accomplishments. Each of us came to Laker schools at different times in our lives. While some of us have never taken classes elsewhere, others have only been here for their senior year. Throughout our time at this school, we have all experienced some of the best and the worst times of our lives. A combination of times of school spirit, spending time with friends, or even cram studying the night before a test we forgot about, all makes up a majority of our memories from this school. But it is our unique experiences that will make this time memorable and monumental in your lives. While many people believe the cliche saying that this is the end of one chapter of your life and the beginning of another, I think it's much easier for me to think of this time as a prologue. For those of you who don't know what this is, a prologue is a separate introductory piece at the beginning of a literary work. In other words, this time we have spent together is solely the introduction to the rest of our lives. And in a metaphorical sense, with each day that passes, we add another page to our own book. Elementary school can be remembered as a time that was anything but carefree. From having first kisses on the wooden train, to figuring out who is going to dance the song Centuries with you at the talent show, these were the problems that were of our greatest worries. As we transitioned into junior high school, which is what it was called at that time, we all dreaded creating the world map as a final project in Mrs. Smith's class, although we would eventually be able to accomplish this by working together and helping each other out. So much so that in the 7th grade, almost our entire grade would have to take the final exam in Mr. Scharf's class for cheating. When we entered high school, we were faced with significantly more challenging classes, from foreign languages to complex sciences. And during our last few years here, many of us chose to spend half the day, or even the whole day, at the Huron Area Technical Center, pursuing practices that would help us along the way to our future careers. And here we are. As everyone says, we finally did it. And just like everyone said, the time flew by. We completed 13 years of education,
Or in my case, 14, because my mom said I needed a little head start. I think she was just tired of paying for daycare. We've had our last first day, our last picture day, our last FFA bit, and today is the last time that many of us will head out of those big green doors. But we shouldn't get hung up on our last, because we have so many more firsts that we're going to experience. Countless of us are about to experience our first day at college, renting our first apartment, and for the first time actually wanting to come home to see our parents. Graduation isn't the end. It's a time of reflecting on our past and looking forward to our future of bigger and better adventures. Many of us thought we wouldn't be here today, but as a wise man, Justin Bieber, once said, never say never. There is so much potential that each of us has. We were able to overcome so many obstacles throughout this time together. From making our way through one of the most challenging times in educational history to outrunning Mr. Diebel in complete darkness, we have always overcome our problems. If you take one thing from this entire speech, let it be that our time here together as a senior class won't be remembered by one's popularity, how good their grades were, or even one like count on an Instagram post. But it is the relationships we make with others and the kind of person we were that leave our legacies as to how we will be remembered. But actually, there is just one more thing that I would be doing a disservice to my classmates if I didn't let you guys know. I never informed you that my friends and I were the original creators of the Laker Parking Police Instagram page. We didn't expect the mess that we would cause to unfold. These same friends have been by my side since day one, or about 7th grade-ish. I cannot say thank you enough to how much they have supported me throughout these years, and would not be up here today if it wasn't for them. These connections we build with those who have like interests transform and shape us into the people we have become. So don't forget to acknowledge these people for making such astonishing impacts within your own lives. It has been an honor spending the last 4 years here with you all, and from the bottom of my heart, I do believe that the graduating class of 2022 is the last of the elite.
At this time, I would like to invite the senior class president, Alexandria Scadden, to the podium.